Let's just start with earnings writ large, which have officially started because Alcoa has reported, but really kick into high gear next week and the week after that. And I'm curious, particularly given the start to this year for investors, how are you viewing this upcoming earnings season? Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I'm super curious at what Chipotle is going to say, for example.
I said just the other day,
curious.
That to me is it's number one on my list of conference calls I want to listen to.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't even know what's number two on the list. That is going to be
number two has got to be Valeant, right?
Yeah. Can we talk about Valeant for a second?
We can.
Valeant Pharmaceuticals, in this bizarre situation where the CEO is in the hospital
with super pneumonia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I hope he gets better. Like I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not. I'm not laughing at anyone's physical ailments.
But the fact that someone or some group of people at Valeant decided, rather than have an interim CEO, or rather just have the chief operating officer step up and say, we're going to appoint 3 people to be CEO. And I don't know in what universe that makes sense for any situation.
Let me put you in the correct universe.
Okay.
I think Valeant is possibly as close to any company right now in the U.S. markets that is likely to be investigated by the SEC, likely to be investigated by any competent jurisdiction for a lot of different reasons. And I'm not making a statement of guilt or that they did anything. I happen to think it's kind of a dirty company, but that's neither
But
here
you
nor
think
there.
there are enough curious things going on?
Yes.
That Uncle Sam's going to start to get curious.
Yes. Yeah, I do. I do. I think that's incredibly likely. So I think that it is probably very, very smart for them to have a team in place that can handle the operations and then handle whatever regulatory dandruff comes down the pike, because they have a target on their backs. A lot of the big purchasing agencies really don't want to deal with Valeant anymore. Are not going to give them any kind of a benefit of the doubt. So they need a lot of guys. So I don't know what'll come from it. It's not a position that we've ever had. It's not one that we've contemplated. I enjoy watching it, but it's that I think it makes a lot of sense. But I am very, very, very curious to see what happens on their earnings call.
A year ago this time, the city of Boston, New England in general, but the city of Boston was getting hit with so much snow that it was, as investors, it was easy to sort of look out 6 months in the future and say, okay, there are going to be, very reasonably, there are going to be some companies that on their spring earnings call,
they're going to say snow.
Yeah, they're going to be talking about snow, and rightfully so. How many times do you think this earnings season are we going to hear companies invoke China in their conference call and talk, or headwinds from China? I mean, I feel like if I could buy stock in companies talking about China on their conference call, that's a stock that would do well.
It'll be substantial. It will certainly be substantial amongst any natural resources companies, because that has been the area that I think China has really directly impacted the most. It'll be substantial in some international consumer type businesses that sell directly into China. It will probably also come out in places like, I bet you somewhere some home builder will say, oh yeah, well the Chinese, the Chinese economy has impacted us for a couple of reasons. One, because wealthy Chinese have been buying a lot of real estate in the U.S. and in other countries. And then also they are very much tied to their pricing of natural resources. So I think maybe that's not the question you asked, but that's the one I'm going with. The weirdest place where you're going to hear China invoked is some home builder, probably in California, but it could be anywhere.
Do you think there are going to be companies that attempt to use China as an excuse, and then it'll be easy to, as investors, just to say, we're going to call shenanigans?
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. I mean, when is it not the in terms of thinking about how we think, whenever a company invokes the easy bogeyman, we pay attention. We pay attention to see like what, because it's easy. It's an easy thing to give a company a pass if they say China. If their management is worth anything at all, they probably would have seen the slowdown in Chinese natural resources demand coming. I think so. Yeah. I'm always skeptical a little bit because managers get paid a huge amount of money. And if they're direct, if they have business direct with China, they should have at least game plan for something like this.